Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new CTO Talk. My name is Cornel Fătulescu. I'm going to be your host today to this new CTO Talk. I am Technology Officer for France and Germany at Globant. For those who didn't manage to follow up and see what happened, might be surprised a bit that Pentalog, I'm not talking about Pentalog. So Pentalog was acquired last year by Globant. I strongly encourage you, for those who didn't follow the news, to go on our site, globant.com, and find the many ways we help our customers reinvent their industries and unleash their potential. Now I'm getting back to the CTO talk, and let's recall, why are we doing this? So we are doing this because we've developed with time an idealistic view about technology leadership. And we've developed structures like CTO fundamentals. And we said this is how responsibilities of technology leaders look like. In reality, there are many ways to implement this. So the idea of the CTO talk was to stress this view. How do real people do this job? We invited CTOs, VP of engineers, engineering managers, CIOs, and we asked them the same set of questions. So half of the success of this CTO talk comes from this set of questions. So there are mainly the same set of questions, and I'm asking them to all our guests. And half of the success comes from the audience. Yes, because the audience first appreciates mostly the genuine answers that come from this initial set of questions, and then they have their own questions. So yes, dear audience, please do ask your questions. Use the Q&A module here as the webinar, and ask them along the way. I will take them one by one and kindly ask our guests to answer to them. That being said, Akram, please join the stage and tell us a few words about yourself and your company.
So, hi everyone. You hear me well?
Hello, I hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone. Hi Cornel. Great to be here. And thanks to invite me. I hope that everyone is well and you have started new year with a lot of good thing and good health.
Yes,
So,
thanks for having me here.
yes, it's your first talk of the year, I think. No?
Oh, we've managed to do another one just at the beginning, so this is the second. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So I'm Akram from Clariane, 37 years old, two children, wonderful wife. And I started my career, I don't know, 12 years ago, I started my career as a developer, and quickly I moved into a tech lead role, and then engineering manager and director of engineering, and finally today I'm CTO. So I'd worked across various industry. In the beginning, I began with in transportation. I mean, in train, low-cost train, for a company whose name is SNCF. Then I moved to beauty and retail, and in Sephora company, and it was for Europe and Middle East. And now I'm in healthcare and silver economy. So to be honest, if you're wondering why initially I moved from transportation to retail, I think it was because I met in the interview my manager with who I get the interview. And during the interview, he shared that the e-commerce world as shifting from e-commerce that we know to headless architecture, and he was looking for someone out of the box, someone who never do e-commerce and want to bring something from the outside. But now for Clariane, where I am today, my move to healthcare was deliberate choice. So I'm not certain if it was a lockdown or COVID, perhaps COVID-19 was were the catalyst, but I was driven by the desire. No, I was driven by the desire. I want to do something with direct and visible impact. And that's why I'm today at Clariane. And Clariane, it's a big company. It's a big company. Home care, clinics for elderly people, server economy, everywhere in Europe, all the country in Europe. A big IT, and I am the CTO of the digital factory of Clariane.
And what does the digital factory do at Clariane?
Okay, so we have the classic IT. Okay, in each country, because Clariane is everywhere in Europe, so each country has the classic IT service. And we 5 years ago, someone say, okay, we want to be faster, time to market, but time to market, time to hit, if you want, and we want to move to bring innovation to help that technology help us to build something very faster. We know that today we have we are in demographic transition. We have a lot of increasing of a lot of chronic illness, and we have some tension on the job market. And I think also we reduce access to care. So if we want to resolve all these problems, we have to make a transformation, digital transformation, and use technology and innovation, how they can help us to take care of person. So that's why the digital factory has been created to make innovation, transition, transformation, and be agile.
Great.
That's why you know, when I arrive in the company, we have a slogan in the company in Clariane. We have a slogan who say taking care of each person humanity in time of vulnerability. You know, taking care humanity vulnerability. So it's something striking, isn't it? No, it's something very very important. So to take care, we have a business. We know business at Clariane. So we need technology today. We know there is transition. How to do it? We have to help Clariane with this transition. That's why we have Digital Factory today.
And does it reach the end user, the technology you develop, or
yes,
it's
at all? Yes.
okay.
I can give more example about that. We build the technology not only for our colleague, professional employees, but we build it also for passion. You know, it's a passion and the family of the passion. Okay, so we are in the company that we want to be close to the employees and our passion, elderly people, if you want, and the family of this person. So to do that, we when we build something, we want to build it for the three, we can say as a persona, three persona: employee, person, and the family. So if I can give example, I will give you example. Today we have a partnership with Amazon. We are working on Alexa hospitality, and we are putting Alexa in rooms to be close to our passion, like that. If the elderly people want to have a water, things like that, you can say, Alexa, please bring me water. That's the first case. You see, we are very close to our passion technology.
Yeah.
And for the family also, because the family will know what is we are making application for mobile application who can download now on the store, and this application is for the family, and they will know what is happening in the room, around the room, in the clinic, something like that.
Wow. And just one question, because normally the CTO Talk, we don't focus on the company, but I think that, can you tell us what are the countries where your patients can benefit from Clariane?
Everywhere in Europe. So France, Italy, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, UK. You see, all more than 6, I think, more than 6 countries.
Wow. Dear audience, again, another special guest, as promised. Now, let's go into the more technology-related kind of questions. And let's start with the first fundamental question. What are the responsibilities of the CTO for the digital factory at Clariane?
Okay, big question, really big question. So I'm in the company since 2 years. The first thing, leading, guiding a technical direction of the digital factory. Okay, I have to lead, I have to guide the technical direction of the factory. Mainly is a technical leader aligning with business goals. Okay, so if you want, how I defined the CTO and how I want to apply it in Clariane, you know the 4 T of the CTO: team, tool, technology, timing. Okay.
Okay.
So my first role was team, because when I arrived at Clariane, there was a small team, but my first role was to building a good team, building it. Very important to work on building this team. For me, it was my first role. So it's not just for hiring, but also structure, organization, inspire your team, work with your team, who report to whom, ensure that everyone know their role and everyone can give the best of him, and we can work in this team together. So this is the first point in the 40, the team. It was very important, and to be honest, I was a little bit scary when I started job to because there was a small team, to go to the CEO saying that you give me a team, I'm not able to build something with it. But finally we built a lot of things. So I told you about the team. Now about the tool, right tool to the right job. That's very important. Right tool to the right job. So more the tool. I'm not talking just about tool that everyone is using, like tool for for project management, or tool for I don't know, tool like Jira for DevOps, things like that. No, more than that. I'm talking about tech process, culture that matter. Okay. Now, inside the tool, you find a tech process, very important. A culture to establish. So when I arrived, I start by building team and giving culture.
Okay.
Once you build a culture, once you have you make you have you work on the culture, on the process, how we will work, how we will work all together, not just dev team if you want, but all people in this dev factory. Then you can pick any tool, and that satisfy the need. You can find some tool. I don't know. You can take Jira for board, and you can take something else, Microsoft tool for board, things like that. The tool is not very important. I mean by the tool is just the culture. Tool, a team, tool, technology. Okay, technology. I told you that's my job as a leader, and to give a technical direction of this digital factory. Okay, so as CTO, I think you have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 step ahead your team. I mean by that, you don't need to be the smarter person inside the room. No, not at all. Or you know everything in detail. I mean by that is just to know how to you make orientation of your team, help them as facilitator, training, introduce innovation, show them new tools, help them with training to train them on new tools, involve them in the process, because we are in a world who is rapidly evolving. So we need, as a CTO, you need to be, I think, ahead of your little bit of your team. I have an example. I remember, perhaps, I don't know when Docker started. You know Docker.
Yes.
When Docker have been built for the first time, I go to see my team. We was talking about, because my team had, it's perhaps 15 years ago. I don't remember, but the team had some problem with the environment. Between there is difference between environment on their computer and on the server. So we have a lot of difference, and sometimes work on my computer doesn't work on the server, things like that. You know, we all know this kind of problem. And I didn't know anything about the Docker. Just read a new paper about it. I go to see my team. I said, okay, from now we'll use Docker. And I remember the silence that was in the room. Everyone say, "What Docker? Okay, what means Docker?" You see, and we say, "Okay, now we'll search together. We'll see what is Docker, how to implement it. We'll perhaps searching for someone who already worked with a Docker, and will help us to put it in our project." So, team, tool, technology, and the fourth one, the last one, is timing. So as CTO at Clariane, you know, when you are recruited by when in your role, your CTO generally recruit you to response to some to execute a product plan. Okay.
Okay.
You have been recruited as CTO to execute a product plan. So timing is very important. When you take, when you upgrade, when you deliver, when you should deliver, when you should treat perhaps your technical depth, where you should make synchronization, where you see all this timing, project timing. And I think the CTO, and that's what I'm doing at Clariane, should take that into account.
So,
and you have to include a budget management also.
okay. So you've given a broad range of responsibilities through the 40s. Now there's so much food for questions here. You've said something about culture. And I just want to understand the scope of that. Is it culture like in the tech team, in the digital factor, or does it span over the company, or you speak about culture end to end, like to patients?
Okay, there is two types of the culture. There is a company culture. I told you we should be close to our employees and our elderly people person, because we have to take care of humanity of each person. So this is the culture of the company. This is inside. I think this is inside the governance that the company try to promote. Okay.
Okay.
And that's the first. So we have on the top the company culture, and then we have the company, the digital factory culture. Okay.
Okay.
It's important because the digital factory has been created to be agile. Okay. To build to make a proof of concept very rapidly, to try things.
You also said transform.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It had been built as a startup, you know. We built it as a startup. Today we are 60, I think, 50 or 60 people in the factory. But first had been this factory had been created as startup with a culture of startup.
Interesting. Thanks for that. This answer. I'm going to go to my next question, which is related to one of the questions that we already had from Valentin. So I was willing to ask you which are the responsibilities that you find the most challenging, and the question from Valentin was, what is the hardest part? Timing seems to be from your explanations. I don't know if there are two answers or one.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So I'm thinking about two main challenging things that I have in my responsibility today. The first one, how to build the best team. So I've been through these in my three last professional experience, not the two last, in Sephora and now at Clariane, how to build the first team. So me personally, I love do it. I love building a team and see how the team grow and how we can build thing after 2 years, 3 years of
Mhm.
working on this team. So this is my first responsibility: how to build the best team. So when I arrived, I will give an example for instance, example in Sephora. When I arrived in Sephora company, my first role was to create this team from scratch. There was
Okay.
anyone in Sephora. So I was the first technical lead that work have to build this digital factory. When I arrived, I start by recruiting a team. I start by asking myself, which with what type of professional team I have to begin. I have to begin perhaps by developer, or I have to see other perhaps DevOps, something else. You see,
Mhm.
that was the first question that I was asking myself. And how to include these inside organization. You know, you have an organization and you will create something in that organization, so, or governance, so you have to disturb a little bit the work or organization. That was the case. And I told you about who recruiting the first, and then how to make this team grow. That was my
Mhm.
responsibility and is my responsibility now. The second responsibility, how I have to meet the business need in the healthcare context. So the healthcare context is special context, okay?
An easy
Because you
context.
have to consider the impact of technology choice on your development of the product. What you are building is something that have impact perhaps on the professional and our customer. Okay,
Okay.
so this is very important, and one of my responsibility today to consider this impact. And the thing that we found, what I found, especially at Clariane, and this is the first time since I work, I'm very close to our employee or to our passion. So I spend a lot of my time in the clinics to see how it works, how people are using, what are
Very
the type of problem that we have, how we can what we can do, how we can add some innovation to resolve some problem, things like that.
So I take so many things from this. So first, I think one of the key things, being with your users, like patience in this, and understanding how they behave, their needs, and so forth. So I really love that. But I'm parking it aside, so because I have other questions. You said building a new team. So that was at Sephora. Did I understand correctly that when you came to Clariane, there was already a team?
There was two people, three.
Okay.
Three people. Yes.
And was there anything different there, like that you've done just because there was a team there, or nothing new special?
No, nothing special. When I arrived, there was one developer and two in internship. So two guys who were there for 6 months. So this time I tried to use what I had, and then I began to recruit other people from outside. From today, we have people in France. We have we began to make a lot of offshore. We take from other company, and it worked good.
Interesting, very interesting. Offshore worked very good, dear audience.
Yes,
So
I confirm.
In the question from Valentin, there was something about timing. Like you said, timing seems to me, from your explanations, that seems to be hardest. Do you think, is there something you can say about timing or the hardest thing in timing, or just to complete the question from Valentin?
Okay. The hardest thing in timing today, it's project timing. Because we are in healthcare context, okay, we have to include security. Okay, we try to do it by design, but it's very difficult. So when you build something, at the end you have to check that there is no security problem. That's the first thing. So security can take time to check, GDPR, things like that. Can take time to check data if it's good or not. These can impact your timing. We also depend on third party company. In the healthcare, there is a lot of tools on the market that are used by Clariane. Okay, and we have to make interface with this tool, so by API or something else. And these tools are there since a lot of years, with big depth, I think. And if you want to make this connection, you have to ask this company to make evolution, why you are making evolution, how to make evolution, how we can make this interface, and all these things can take time.
Yes, hard to put everything, make room for everything, right? And timely.
Yes, exactly.
We have other questions, but not in the Q&A module, so that's fine. I will read it from the chat, but it's better for me if you use the Q&A module. What technology do you anticipate will truly disrupt your market in the coming years? The question coming from Vasile.
Yes. So we are thinking as other company, we are thinking about AI, artificial intelligence. I will give you just one example, just only one. When one of our professional, okay, do something for the patient, I don't know, as a nurse, if she do something, she have to write it. She have to write that she did that and this in the room, for example. And to do that, we add a module with speech to text. Okay. It's to text, easy module, speech to text. But the speech to text is standard speech to text, is speech to text that we have on Android or iOS. And this speech to text is not very performant. And we are thinking, for example, as to use AI to improve these speech to text. And perhaps this speech to text will help us to make just resume of the text, bullet point, things like that, that will help our professional to not write a big paragraph, just saying, yes, I did that and I did this. And then speech to text will translate it, make it in some phrase and send it to our backend. Things like that. You see, AI will help us a lot with a mini use case, and we are thinking a lot about that. So as CTO, I have to anticipate that. I have to anticipate that. Control by voice, something that we make some investment like on it. So control is not just Alexa, but IoT, perhaps dialogue with AA, things like that.
Very interesting, because it joins many hard questions that many CTOs and many people in general ask about the impact of technology. And sometimes we forget about the very positive impact of these technologies. They are more inclusive. They enable new things that we couldn't develop before. Like we couldn't program around voice. We couldn't do text to speech very well and all that. And now with these new emerging technologies, your patients, in a sense, will leverage that, and your the nurse and an entire family of users will work more efficiently. So it's like AI in practice here at CTO Talk. So thanks for sharing this. Anything else you'd like to say about the future of technology, or should I go to the next question?
I think yes, we have to we have to keep in mind security.
Security.
Security of our data, security of what we are doing. We don't know the AI today very well. We just everyone is talking about, but we have to check the security, what AI is doing with our data, how we can secure all these things. So we don't have
Do
to.
you feel like, not just for you, in general, do you feel like CTOs are usually aware about security in general? This is the data I have, but I was curious if you feel like CTOs in general are aware about cybersecurity.
You know, when I make transition between retail to healthcare, there was different in how you will interpret this security. I mean by that, on retail, your focus is on the customer. Okay, how you will sell something to the customer. On healthcare, where your focus is on taking care of the customer and even their data, you see. And it was a change for me. I used to see only the added value, where now we are working on now I'm working on critical data, and I have to make security on this data also. So my philosophy changed between retail and healthcare. That's why I tell you more. I'm talking about security, and we have to adapt security by design.
Yeah, sometimes we neglect the impact of, we are shifting completely the needs, the regulations that's around and all that. Thanks for sharing this. So dear audience, definitely not the same thing from retail to health. Akram, because you talked about the future of technology, vision in general. You've also said earlier about orienting the team. I'm going to go to the question about the responsibility for CTOs to translate technology to a language which is understandable by the business in general, and for people who are less technical, and the other way around, from technology opportunities to business, from business to technology. How important is that in your role today? being the translator?
Okay, so if I rephrase from technology to business and vice versa.
Yes.
Yes, right. Okay. So today I consider myself deeply embedded in this translator role. So between technology to business. Okay. How I today I interpret technology capability into business opportunity. Okay.
Okay.
Client. So I have to know what can we do and what I can propose to the business. Okay.
Okay. But
But
is that
in the same time, that's the first. Yes, tell me, please.
is that I don't know, 10% of your activity, 20, 50%?
At the digital factory. No, but perhaps 50, well, 50, perhaps I think. If you want to know, in practice, 35 of my time is responding to PO, internet customer, new project, idea feasibility. 40, perhaps 40% of my time is to make sure that my team is engineering correctly, and the rest it's my time for deep dive technical time. It's my deep dive technical time.
Okay. Okay. Now that
So
we got this.
perhaps perhaps in these tradition, perhaps it's in the 35% that I spend with PO, I don't know, PO customer, client, things like that.
35% of your time with the product, uh,
Exactly.
a product owner or many product owners?
We have many product owner right now. We have many product owner.
Okay. Okay. And that is where translator role is important as well.
Exactly. I have to be here to help them to know if it's possible, not possible, if there is some opportunity or not, if we have the capacity to do that now, not now, perhaps. You know, we're talking in CTO, there is timing. So if we do that now, or we have to do that perhaps in 3 months, because we have a technical roadmap that we have to do before working on these business case, for example.
There's a question here because you said something about offshoring, and then there is a question about what kind of people you have hired, freelancers, uh, hired or freelance. I suppose that's what it means. Please correct me, Sal. Is it dev, QA? So I suppose the question is more about the profiles, typical profiles you have in the team. Can you share something about it?
Exactly. Okay. We outsourced some roles. Yes. In my superstar trusted team, we have developers, we have QA, we have DevOps, we have POs, we have UX, very important role. We have two
In the
UX
team,
in
the
the
UX.
in all the CTO team, if you want, in my responsibility. There is all these
Okay.
people. And we start with, you know, when we start like a startup hacker, small team, move fast, break things and show value, to show that we are able to do things. That when I start first with 3
A small
people.
team meaning how many?
No, when I started 2 years ago, it was 3, 4, I think 3, 4, 5 people. That's what when I start, and now we are in the growth stage. You know, we are in the growth stage. I mean, we in this growth stage we have we built some success before, and now we are on the phase where we are building our process, adding member on the team, building product in the right way, making process governance, and that's all. You know, we are in the first where you are pushing the boulder up to the hill. You know, we have the team, and now we are making a small team. And I think the third step that will come perhaps in 1 year, I hope, or less, perhaps to scale the team. So to respond to, we outsourced many role. We in the offshore, our team are only developer in offshore. So we have web developer, mobile developer, backend developer. Okay.
Okay.
Different culture. We learn how to be efficient together and how we can work together. So it worked very good. It's my first experience with the offshore team, and top. It worked. It worked very well. Here in France, we have QA, outsourced QA, UX also, and P also.
Thanks for sharing that. And there is a question from anonymous user. How easy is it for you to hire the right experts?
Okay. Respect to the question, you have to the first the first people, the first 3 people that you hire should be very, very good people. Okay, you have to hire the best one, and then you have to use these best one to hire other best one.
And
So
how
the first 3
difficult
people,
is for the best one? How difficult is for the best? The first one.
they should be best, and they should be better than you. The first people should be better than you. Okay. So when I hire someone, should be better than me. I told you, as CTO, I should have one step more ahead of my team, but I shouldn't be the most smarter in the room. So I know many concepts. I know how to perhaps to recruit the best one, and how to bring the best profile to the company. I think because I have many years of experience, I met a lot of people, and sometimes when I switch company, what I did with Clariane and Sephora before, I tried to bring people that I work with them to with me in this company.
People that you know, in a sense, that you trust.
The people that I know. Yes.
Okay. I hope I've answered to the question. I'm gonna get back to the questions from the audience. I still have some of mine. Sorry for, but I will get back to your questions. Please tell me, how true is the quote? Technology strategy is business strategy.
Okay. For Clariane,
Yes.
you mean?
Yes.
Okay. So before starting, just remember that we at Clariane we are not just talking about business. Okay. There is a business for each company. There is a business, but because Clariane is a purpose-led company, so we talk more about how to help people with their illness then we talk about a business. Okay, so the business aspect come after. Not the case in Clariane. So we are in the healthcare sector. Clariane business, we know that business is not just money for us. We have to take care of our passion. So how we can help them with technology. So it's in the both side. Technology strategy. Okay, what can technology strategy bring to the business strategy? Okay, I told you about capabilities, and what the business strategy, what we have as every company, we have business strategy. So when the CEO come with the business strategy, we try to respond with the technology strategy. So it's in the both. I give you example of Alexa. So Alexa is it's technology strategy to help a business. I can give you another example about a fall detector. Fall detector in the room. We can put fall detector to see if elderly people fall for example. And this was a business strategy saying, yes, we have to put in our room something to detect that elderly people fall and how we can help him very quickly. All these things is to improve the quality of service. Yes.
Wow.
And we did that. We translate that in technology strategy.
I didn't even know there is a fall detector, so very interesting, and it's music to my ears to hear that. We sometimes forget that we are here to do a better life for our users, and in Clariane's case, it's also greater good out there with very positive impact on the world. So I kind of defocused from the technology and just hearing you and said, wow, very interesting. And it's good to hear, honestly, that you focus on their needs, your patients' needs, and everything else with technology or not, it's anecdotic. Your focus is your patients. Great to hear that.
Exactly. And you see that if you go on the ground, if you go in clinics, I don't know, nursery, things like that. If you go, you will see that these people need us. And when you come back and you start working on the product, you will only think how you will help them. That difference, what I see as difference between my previous jobs.
Yes, I know we are not supposed to go into more details about Clariane because the focus here at CTO Talk is your role. So I have to say, but maybe a webinar just to talk about Clariane would be interesting for us to do and make a tour. I'm getting back to, so there is a question about cybersecurity from Victoria. What cybersecurity measures are you taking at Clariane to ensure the security and privacy of patient information? I don't know if you can go into many details, but can you say something in brief? You already said something security by design, but maybe add something to that.
Okay. We make a risk analysis before building something. Trying to take security by design. I'm trying to put that in with my team, for example, DevSecOps. Security and testing. Yes, the DevSecOps is great thing. It's great thing. I like a lot. We should come back to the concept, perhaps, of DevSecOps. Why we are doing it? Because I said that in digital factory, we want to build things faster. We want to make response to our business very faster. So we don't want to let the security at the end of the process. We have to put it in our process. That's why we talk a lot about DevSecOps. And today we are trying to put in the pipeline, for example, we use a static application security testing, the SAST, tool. We are using GitHub Advanced Security, for example, that check our code and to see if we have some problem, some failure, and how to resolve them. Security by design, there is trainings inside the company to train people how for risks, what can happen, the impact business, the impact on our data, things like that.
Very interesting. So, dear audience, Victoria, I hope you heard risk analysis, security by design, DevSecOps, SAST analysis with GitHub Advanced Security, and of course, training of people. Thank you, Akram. I will rush a bit. We will have 11 minutes. I need your last minute for a message for the audience. So we have 10 minutes left. So that's 3 questions for us. Let's try to go forward. There was a question about which offshore countries you collaborate and how you manage the time zones and cultural differences from Adil. I hope I'm saying it right.
Okay. Oh, today we are only in Europe. Okay. So we don't have very different time zone between country and Europe. So this problem, we don't see it a lot. Before in my previous companies between Europe and Middle East, but now there is no, we don't have an impact. Use UX people. UX people should make research. UX research should see how the end user are using your application. How because I remember that people here the when I was in retail, buying in France, for example, making an order on the mobile application is not the same as someone in the Middle East, and it's not same if you take other application, Chinese application, you see it's something else. So to do that, you have to you have a UX role and UX researcher. They should see how people used to use our application and how we have to adapt them, for example.
And this is a way so that teams, wherever they are kept in sync with what's important for the user, in a sense, so that
Exactly.
get a bit further from the end user, because they need to be in a region. Like you already said, you're in 6 countries. Your developers might not be in all the 6 countries, right?
Exactly.
So because there is this research, you can keep them connected.
Exactly.
I hope we've answered to that. There is a question, in fact, unfortunately not able to stay until the end. It was very interesting, especially for a new CTO in healthcare like me. Okay. Last question. In your opinion, what should be the first task of a new CTO during the first weeks?
Okay, the first week as new CTO, take a time, just take a time to see how people are working in the company. Okay, for the first few weeks, just take time, come back, see how people are using, how people are working, why they are working like that, because there is a historical thing. So understand why people are working like that, and then begin to take a decision. Okay, so the
So,
first few weeks are very important to know how people are working and
thanks
why
for the
they are
quick.
working like that.
Yeah, so I feel like Sal said he's not going, but you will see the recording. So for those who didn't know, this is recorded. You will see Akram again. I'm going to go to my next question about shift left security, because you said DevSecOps. So there's first my personal opinion about it, but we had QA, we've shifted left. We put that in the team. We have product, we have business analysis, testing, ops. We put that in the teams, and now we have security, and we've shifted that also. Now we have DevSecOps, but there is much more, and there will be more in the future. What can you share us about the limits of shifting left security? So definitely like lots of value, tremendous value, because it's early and we know the benefits. But what can you say about the limits of shifting something else left, like something new, like regulation, someone from legal in the team?
Okay. And you want me to tell you something about security, yes, right?
About the limits of doing shift left, of the next thing that we are going to put in the teams.
Okay. Uh, okay. I'm trying to find some example for that.
I know it's a tricky question because
It's a very tricky question. Yes, I'm thinking how we can manage it. Okay. I think if you want my opinion about it, you have to before starting to make shift and left, you have to understand why. Okay,
Okay.
why you are doing that. Okay, if you are doing that just because you have some problem of security problem in your product, on your team, or in your company, I think you can begin with training people, helping people to know why we are doing that, communicate with people, making a change, transformation,
Mhm.
um, see if there is some tools. We talk about the free 40, and there is a tools also that we can do before taking decision to make shift and left. It's tricky question. I don't have example like that, but I will think about it. Okay, and I will tell you next time
And we'll do
how we
another one. We'll do
do
another
that.
one.
Okay,
Because, as you said, we don't have all the answers, and but there will be a
exactly,
limit of how much can we shift left in the
exactly. We have this limit. Yes.
yeah. Okay, I'll go to I think the last question, and then I'll ask you to say something for the audience, like an advice, one thing for them. Um, what can you tell us about technical debt management? Like an advice, one advice about technical debt management. Whatever you think is the most useful for the audience.
Okay, technical debt management. Yes. I will tell you more than one, I think. Can I? Yes, we have time. Just I will tell you more than
2 minutes.
um, okay, no problem. I will give you an example because I read an experience about a company who analyze a 10-year code base, and using a tool. We have a lot of tool on the market that help you to
Mhm.
measure these technical debt, and the tool report 100 year of technical debt. You see, wow! I said, wow, what happened in this company? I was curious to know which language they are using, and which technology they are using. uh, I think that technical debt system, we have to build system in our CI/CD or in our daily working. We must continually take into account our technical debt, to not be in the case in 100 year of technical debt, and putting the product in the garbage. So we know that as system evolves, the complexity increases also. So for if you want advice, just integrate a technical debt into the roadmap, and trying to kill things in our sprint, if are working with sprint, or in our day working.
Thanks.
Don't
Thanks
let
for sharing.
think until
This
the
is
end.
this is your advice. Okay, dear audience, I hope it's useful for you. That also means visibility, like continuous visibility. So having it in the roadmap and solving continuously, not just see it, but also do it, solve it. Thanks for sharing that, Akram. And now we reach to the end of our session. I told you, Akram, that it will go fast. Um,
Yes.
um, and one final advice from you. If there would be only one thing you want to share with the audience, the most important one, what is that?
Okay. The most important. Um, okay. For two most important thing. Okay. As a CTO, As CTO, just think about the final customer. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and reuse as much as possible. Keep it things simple. Don't be careful of over engineering. Just before building something, see if these things already exist. If not, build it. If it's already exists, take it. So there's a lot of things on the market, open source or not. Just keep things simple and build things simple. Yes, that the my advice for everyone.
I remember I've been to a talk about architecture with Akram from TechRox community, CTO community in France, and you've talked about it, Akram. It was one of the simplest and best ways to talk about over engineering. I think so. Dear audience, if you can follow Akram, because I don't know how many similar webinars you'll have, or Akram, but I think it was very interesting. It was about architecture, so but we should know a bit. So follow Akram on LinkedIn. Other sessions like this, I really appreciated that moment where what he shared with us now, it was in practice. So Akram, thank you for your time, for your
Thank you.
advices. And who knows, maybe we will do another one 1 year or 2 years to see how things are going.
Yes, why not? Yes, we'll do that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you very
Dear
much
audience,
for everyone, and hope to see you soon.
see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.